everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel named CyberSecurity Articles. My name is Sunil Kumar and I'm cybersecurity professional. Well, today's article 14 is about unified user profiles, which contains all relevant information about a user, such as their name, email address, contact information, login credential, preferences, and permissions across multiple applications and services. I will also be discussing some potential risk associated with unified user profiles. So please stay tuned and keep watching this video till the end. Unified user profile is a single digital identity that aggregates and stores user data, preferences, permissions across multiple system, applications, and devices. It is a central repository that contains all relevant information about a user, such as their names, email address, contact information, login credential, preferences, and permissions. And this allows users to access multiple applications and services using a single set of credentials, and their preferences and settings are automatically synced across all devices and platforms. By this, users do not need to remember multiple usernames and passwords, which reduces the friction associated with switching between different applications. There is no doubt that unified user profiles offer several benefits, but there are also some potential risks associated with unified user profiles, which I'll be discussing now. The first risk is dependency on a single system. Unified user profiles rely on a single system to store and manage user data, which could create a single point of failure. If this system experiences downtime or is compromised, it could result in a widespread disruption of a user access. Second risk is privacy concerns. Consolidating user data into a single profile raises concern about data privacy and security. User may be uncomfortable with the idea of their personal information being stored in a central location, particularly if they do not fully understand how that information is being used and protected. Third risk is technical complexity. Implementing a unified user profile system can be technically complex, particularly in a large organization with many systems and applications. It requires significant planning, integration, and testing to ensure that the system is secure and reliable. Fourth risk is cost. Implementing and maintaining a unified user profile system can be costly, particularly for the smaller organizations. The cost include the cost of license, hardware, and support, or the resources if the organization does not have the necessary IT resources to manage the system effectively. These are some of the risks associated with unified user profiles. But in a crux, I would like to say that if your organization is dealing with a large number of applications and systems and has a need to consolidate user data and permissions, a unified user profile system may be the good fit. However, it is important to carefully weigh the potential benefits and risk and consider the factors such as scalability, security, privacy, technical complexity, and the cost before making any decision. Now let's discuss some of the best practices that can be considered when implementing a unified user profile system. First best practice is secure the user profile system. Security should be a top priority when implementing a unified user profile system. Use strong encryption for user data, enforce strong password policies, implement multi-factor authentication, and limit access to user data to authorized personnel only. Second best practice is follow data privacy regulations. Ensure that your user profile system complies with all relevant data privacy regulations such as GDPR, CCPA, and all applicable. Provide users with clear and concise information about how their data is being used and obtain their consent before sharing their data across systems. Third best practice is ensure data accuracy and consistency. Ensure that user data is accurately synced across all systems and applications, and that any changes made to user data are reflected in the unified user profile in a timely manner. Fourth best practice is test and monitor the systems. Regularly test and monitor the unified user profile system for vulnerabilities and security breaches. Have a contingency plan in place in case of system failures or data breaches. Fifth best practice is provide adequate training. Provide adequate training to the users and person involved in managing the unified user profile systems. The sixth best practice is plan for scalability by ensuring that it can handle an increasing number of users and applications. considering the fact that unified user profiles offer significant benefits and you decide to implement a unified user profile system. But be sure to follow the best practices for data security and privacy, regularly test and monitor the systems for vulnerability, and must have a contingency plan in place in case of system failures or any data breaches, and ensure that security, privacy, and reliability of your unified user profile systems. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.